Hi loves, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Candice and I'm a trauma and mindset coach, and I'm on a mission to help you have healthy relationships, secure relationships with yourself and with others without spending years in therapy. So if that is the support you need, hit that subscribe button now. So let's dive in. Today, we are diving into one of the most talked about dynamics in attachment styles: anxious versus avoidant attachment style. And let me tell you, this pairing can feel like a Netflix drama, except you're living it. Spoiler alert, it is exhausting, but don't worry, I've got you covered. By the end of this video, you'll not only understand why this dynamic happens, but also how to navigate it without pulling your hair out. So let's start with a quick breakdown of these two attachment styles. If you have an anxious attachment style, you crave closeness like it's your life force. You need to feel reassured, connected, and prioritized constantly. But here's the kicker. You also tend to fear rejection and abandonment, so you might find yourself overthinking constantly, seeking validation, and self-sabotaging relationships without even realizing it. Basically, your brain is like, what if they don't like me anymore because I forgot to use an emoji in my last text? And then you're spiraling for hours, staring at your phone on edge, waiting for the phone to light up with their text, feeling disappointed when it's just that group chat you don't even care about, or that notification for the app that you don't even use. Sound familiar? I get it, I've been there. Now, let's talk about the avoidant side of the equation. People with an avoidant attachment style often feel uncomfortable with emotional intimacy. While they want love and connection, they also fear it because it makes them feel vulnerable, which hasn't always been safe for them. Instead of leaning into closeness, avoidants create distance to feel safe. This can look like pulling away after deep emotional um, conversations or moments, being less responsive or unavailable when they feel overwhelmed, and prioritizing independence to avoid feeling dependent on others. For avoidance, it's not that they don't care, it's that closeness feels like a threat to their autonomy. And I know that this is really difficult as an anxious attachment style to understand, because it is literally the opposite of what you need to feel safe. It's literally the opposite. So it can feel like a rejection for an anxious attachment style when you don't understand these things. So why do anxious and avoidant attachment styles always attract each other? Um, they are literally drawn to each other like magnets. And it's not because the universe just thought, these two are opposites, this will be fun, let's see how this goes, let's make them magnetic to each other, although it sure does feel that way. And it does feel like that's all you can attract. But it's because this dynamic mirrors something familiar from your past. Subconsciously, you won't even realize it, but if you have an anxious attachment style, you may have experienced inconsistent caregiving as a child, where love and attention were sometimes present and other times withheld for reasons that will differ for each person. And sometimes you won't even realize what they are, because this can be created in your mind subconsciously from as young as 0 to 7 years of age. So you might not even be aware of it. And I have worked with many clients that had very happy childhood, didn't have anything in particular happen, but they still had an anxious attachment style. And it took for them to, do the deep work, to dig deep, to figure out what the root cause was, so that they could overcome it. So it's not always going to be obvious, but that will be the reason why. So in adulthood, this inconsistency feels familiar when paired with an avoidant partner. Their distance reminds you of the unpredictability you experienced as a child. You may unconsciously chase their attention in an attempt to fix that old wound. Yes, hear that right. It looks like you may be trying to fix them on the surface of it. But actually, you are subconsciously trying to fix an old wound from your wounded inner child, which is why their actions trigger you so much. It's actually triggering that little child inside of you. So, this is why I will forever teach and swear by inner child healing when it comes to healing your anxious attachment style. Is why it's part of my signature method and my programs and my teaching, because it personally changed my entire life, and I've seen it time and time and time again with my clients. And if you don't know what it is and you haven't tried it, hit subscribe, as I'm sure that I will be teaching on it here because I swear by it. Now, meanwhile, the avoidant partner may feel overwhelmed by your desire for closeness because it mirrors their own discomfort with emotional intimacy from their old wounds. So, from their childhood, from their wounded inner child. So, you're both going for what feels familiar, but it's also triggering those old parts of you. And then this creates a painful push pull dynamic where you crave reassurance and they retreat. The more you pursue, the more they distance themselves. You are left feeling rejected, even though their behavior isn't about you, it's about their attachment system. Now, if you're anxiously attached, this cycle can leave you feeling like you're constantly walking on eggshells, blaming yourself when your partner pulls away, chasing reassurance but never really feeling secure. And the reassurance never feels enough. You always want more and you always need more. And it's exhausting. But here's the good news: you can break free from this pattern. You're not broken and you're not stuck. So here are some ways to navigate the anxious and avoidant dynamic that could help you as an anxious attachment style. The first thing to do is to recognize your patterns. So start noticing when your anxious attachment style is triggered. Are you overthinking? Are you people pleasing? Are you chasing validation? Are you trying to close the gap for reassurance? Awareness is your first step to change. So make sure you're really educating yourself on anxious attachment style patterns and even ways that you might not even realize it's showing up in your life, because it will show up in all different ways and in your relationships. But because you've been on default since a child, you might not even realize how it's showing up. So be sure to educate yourself on that. And this channel will have so much educational content on it. So hit subscribe if you haven't already. And then the second thing to do is practice self-regulation. So it's really important that you learn to soothe your nervous system when anxiety kicks in and you're not relying on someone else to do it, because that will only cause your anxious attachment style will tell you to just chase after them. Chase after them so that you feel soothed. But I'm sure I don't need to tell you that doesn't make you feel good, and it doesn't help your relationships and it pushes them away. And I get it, I've been there, but um it doesn't help. So the best thing you can do is actually start to give that to yourself. And I know that this is so foreign as an anxious attachment style. I was one. But once you start to build that relationship with yourself, you start to become in control of yourself and you stop needing it outwardly and stop sabotaging relationships or allowing the anxiety to sabotage a relationship. So deep breathing is something that can really help you. I'm a big fan of this. Journaling is amazing. It helps you to get your thoughts out and reframe them into positive stories instead of all of your fears, creating all of these negative stories. Inner child healing meditations, I absolutely swear by. Connecting with that inner child in any way that you can, because it's only them that's panicking, having a tantrum, feeling really unsoothed. Grounding exercises can help. There are so many different ways. So just find the way that works for you and build it into your lifestyle and do as much of it as you can. It is literally life changing. And just think of it as a way of giving yourself the reassurance that you seek so much from other people. It's wonderful. And then the other thing you can do, number three, is focus on your self-worth. Focus on building your self-esteem, so that you're less likely to base your worth on like someone else's behavior. If you are, stable in your emotions, so you're not their actions are not causing you, changing your whole day, ruining your whole day if you don't get a text, or if they're in a bad mood or anything like that. That can happen with an anxious attachment style. But where if you're taking control of your emotions and your nervous system, and you are doing things that make you feel good and building your self-esteem and building your self-worth, and not relying on somebody else's behavior to determine whether you're worthy, whether they sent you a good morning message that determines whether you're worthy and whether you're going to have a good day. No, you want to be in control of this, and this starts with your relationship with yourself. So start with simple exercises like listing your strengths, and write a list of all the reasons why you are so valuable, why you're so worthy, why you're so loved, why you're so chosen, and why you are so valuable in this relationship, and why you are enough. All of these things, like, remind yourself, turn that focus to you, go and do things that make you feel really good in your life. um Make plans with other people. Just focus on you so that you are grounded in you, and therefore it has less impact on your emotional stability. Because I'm sure I don't need to tell you, it's very painful, and you can really get triggered very easily. So when you understand both of your anxious tendencies as an anxious attachment style and your avoidance, your partner's avoidant tendencies, you can start approaching the dynamic from a more compassionate place for yourself and for them. And it will stop you from feeling like their behavior is a rejection, as it's actually only about their fears and patterns and their attachment style. And it will help you to respond from a place that feels good for you, and it helps them as well. And in that turn, it will make the relationship a lot more healthier. Um, but while understanding this is so important, you also don't have to stay stuck in a cycle that's hurting you or doesn't feel good. And I know that can be difficult with an anxious attachment style, but just know that your only responsibility is to take care of yourself and start prioritizing your well-being. And that will really help to create a healthier dynamic overall. And healing your own attachment style is the first step towards, like, breaking free and creating these healthier, more fulfilling relationships. And just know that you're not alone. You're not stuck. I've been there. I had a very severe anxious attachment style, and I know how painful it can be. But I also know how much better it is to move towards a secure attachment style, to, like, change that relationship with yourself and with others. And I'm here to help you do the same. And if that resonates with you, check out my free 90-minute masterclass, Stop Sabotaging Relationships with Anxiety. This is a great first step to start. I will put the link in the description below. And if this video spoke to you, let me know in the comments. Do you identify as anxious or avoidant, or have you experienced this dynamic? I'd love to hear your stories. And don't forget to subscribe, because I have so much more coming to support you on your journey to secure attachment. So thank you for watching. Until next time, take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.